Snow machine stuck 3 times on that same hill yesterday, and it took me 2 hours to get out.
All right. Hey, gun's looking good.
All right, I think it's time to do some ice fishing. I don't know what's in this lake, but I'm guessing there's grayling and burbot. And burbot are kind of like a northern catfish. They behave like a catfish and you catch them like a catfish. So I got a little bit of herring right there on the rig. We're gonna see if any burbot are around. Help tell us how deep this is. It's pretty shallow here. There's only about 2 feet of water underneath this ice. When you're ice fishing, you don't need to go deep. The fish will often be really shallow. Well, there we go. Got a little bite alarm set up. So if we get any burbot, we'll know about it. All right, just gotta wait for a bite. My back is killing me. I think I need a chair. Oh, that feels good. To say my back is sore is a gross understatement. I brought a soda along to drink and it froze solid. It's a local soda. This flavor's spruce tip. We're gonna see if we can't thaw it out a little bit. We're gonna make some herbal tea here. I use the rest of the boiling water to thaw out my water bottle. All right, I think it's time to start making dinner. I was thinking country fried steak sounds really good. Get peanut oil here. Got some very frozen potatoes. Great way to test oil to see if it's hot enough. Put a piece of wood in it. If it fizzles, it's good. Whoa. Ooh. Hey, my soda thawed out. Gonna try to enjoy what's left of it. That's good. Kind of reminds me of 7-Up with a hint of pine. Well, to go with a country fried steak, I'm gonna make a knockoff version of Mexican street corn. Okay, so I've got some tagine. Gonna put that in there. Mayonnaise. There we go. I made a bunch of gravy earlier and I vacuum sealed and froze it. So now all I gotta do is just lay it by the stove and let it thaw out. There we go. Not a bad little meal. I didn't quite do the country fried steak right. I forgot to bring the buttermilk to make the batter, but so I just rolled it in flour and gave it a go. Still tastes really good. Oh, I'm hungry. I missed lunch today. All right, good. Got some leftover steak. I'm gonna put it in the freezer. There we go. I think I want to have some bread in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and make some dough up. Oh, my bag's got some holes in it. I gotta be careful. Just gonna stick this up here where it's nice and warm, and that'll rise. All right, I think I need to go do some dishes. It's gonna be cold. All right, I think it's time for some dessert. I'm gonna make some cookies. Pecan Turtle Delight cookies. Man, this sounds good. Ooh. Ooh, there we go. We'll just pull them over here to cool. That shouldn't take long. Oh, not too bad.
Mmm, that is good. Warm cookies on a camp out, hard to beat. If you burn the bottom, just eat them burn side up. All right. So I'm gonna go to bed and I will see you guys in the morning. Oh, good morning. Oh, it took me a long time to get to sleep last night. I'm tired. Okay, I love my caribou rugs, but they shed. They shed like crazy. The ice fishing was a bit of a bust. Didn't get a single bite, but I'm not even sure there are any fish in this lake. I was planning on camping on a nearby lake where I know there's fish, but after the sled got stuck all those times, I just, grabbed the nearest lake and camped on it. Oh, my mouth and lips are so dry. It's so cold outside, there's almost no humidity in the air. It just dries everything out. People who aren't used to it will often get nosebleeds and really bad chapped lips. Got my dough from yesterday. Ooh, smells great. Ooh. Got some blueberry pie filling we're gonna put on our bread. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. This is my reward for dealing with the chainsaw and coming back. All right. Oh, pretty day. It is minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm curious to see if that chainsaw will start. I got it starting, but the chain's frozen. All right, it was a bit of a struggle, but I got it going. Still got that summertime bar oil in it though, and that's not good. I need to switch over to wintertime bar oil. Let's make sure the snow machine starts. Yeah, that was a little bit rough. It's 11 in the morning and the sun's just barely coming up. The sun will peek out over that mountain for about 2 hours before it sets again. I think I'm gonna grab the 22 and do a little bit of hunting. But I'm not gonna do it here. I've seen absolutely no tracks in the snow. If you're a ptarmigan or a rabbit or a moose, the only thing you can eat are willows. And there's no willows growing around here. It's all black spruce. Part of that has to do with the lack of sunlight and the type of ground we're on. So I need to get up on a hillside, somewhere out of this marshy lowland area. Got a pretty good view of the valley here. I'm just looking for willow patches. Looks like there's some over that way. See these patches of willows right here? That's what I'm looking for. The moose have been coming along and biting the tips off the willows. That's the part you can eat, is the tip. So if you find a spot where there's lots of tips low to the ground, you'll find rabbits and ptarmigan. Notice how the trees aren't covered in as much snow as they were over by the tent? This is because we're on the southern facing side of the valley. This side of the valley gets more sunlight, it gets warmer, and that melts the snow on the trees and it falls off. You're gonna have more animals living on this side of the valley and it's gonna be better hunting. I'm climbing up this southern facing mountain and you can see the vegetation has changed a lot. You got a lot more willows and alders and things that birds and moose and rabbits can actually eat. And you can see that there's moose tracks everywhere. You look at it, this is all moose. All moose. Woo! I just want to go up a little bit higher to where it opens up. Now I think we got a good chance of seeing some ptarmigan. I have to be really careful going around these trails. One of the most dangerous animals in Alaska is the moose. And they don't like walking in the deep snow, so they like to walk on the snow machine trail. And if you surprise a moose, he'll kill you rather than get off that trail. It's the #1 way people get attacked by moose. It's in the wintertime on trails like this. I just gotta take it easy around the corners, try not to surprise anybody. See this? That's ptarmigan poop. In the fall, their poop is purple because they eat blueberries. But in the wintertime, they're living off the tips of these willow branches and alders, and it makes their poop look like this. But this is what we're looking for. On a clear, sunny day like today, the ptarmigan are gonna be on a southern facing slope. They're gonna be basking in that sunlight. And they're usually in big groups this time of year, so there could be like 20 to 100 birds in one flock. Sometimes if you listen, you can hear them. All right, let's keep looking. That's a ptarmigan right up there. Oh, I could hear one. There's a ptarmigan right up there. Ptarmigan are really hard to spot. They turn white in the wintertime, so they're very camouflaged. All right, let's go see if we can find them. I can hear the ptarmigan. They're up there for sure. Oh, I just saw one. Oh yeah, there's like 20 or 30 right up there. We're gonna just walk over. I heard those ptarmigan long before I saw them. You know, a big group of ptarmigan like that, they're noisy. It's impossible to be stealthy in the snow. They make so much noise. These are all ptarmigan tracks right there. Oh, look at that. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there's probably 30 of them. The whole flock just landed right up there. That's where I gotta go.
A few minutes later.
Well, that didn't go as planned. Oh, geez. I think I'll go the rest of the way on foot. Oh, look at it. There's just tons of them. This is the perfect weather for ptarmigan hunting. With all that strong sunlight coming in at an angle, you can see those white birds on the snow from way far away. And because it's sunny and there's no wind, the birds will be out in the open instead of hunkered down and hiding. And when you have weather like this, the ptarmigan are always going to be higher up on the mountains. It's warmer the higher up on the mountains you go on sunny, calm days like today. That flock is way up that hill. I don't think they'll let me get close enough to get a shot. I think I'm better off continuing down the trail and see if I can run into some more ptarmigan. See, that entire hillside is covered in ptarmigan tracks. I don't hear anything. See this kind of gully? When the wind is really blowing, that's where you go to look for ptarmigan. But it's a nice day today, so they're not going to be there. They're going to be on the hills. Tell you what, this has been fun, but the sun's starting to get low, and I'm really far from camp. All these clouds just started rolling in. It makes everything just kind of look blah white. It makes it hard to see the path and the ups and the downs, and it makes it really hard to hunt ptarmigan and rabbit. Made it back before sunset. Yay! Oh, we're getting a little low on firewood. Time to go chop some more. Tell you what, I am hungry. I did not get lunch today. I got bratwurst. I love these things. My water's got lots of pulp in it. Oh, it is so dry out. I don't know if you can see it, but it's so dry that I'm starting to get a little sore in the corner of my mouth. Just to use a little fat, like this butter, that actually works really well. And it tastes good too. All right. For dessert, I've got some bread pudding. I mixed all the raw ingredients together and vacuum sealed it. And now I'm just gonna cook it in a pot of boiling water. Do that. Woohoo! I love white brats and mustard. That is so good. Oh. Oh, that smells good. It's got cinnamon, vanilla, raisins in there. And I got some leftover pie filling, so that's happening. Hot bread pudding. That was good. Oh. I'm gonna sit here and listen to an audiobook, and I'm gonna go to bed. I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. Oh, slept a whole lot better last night. Sun's starting to come up. I left the can of pie filling on the floor and it froze last night. Yeah. Well, we'll thaw that out. No problem. Oh, that looks good. I'm hungry. That's good. Well, this entire camping trip has been a bit of a test run for a much bigger camping trip I want to do this winter. And it's been a good shakedown run. I sorted out the problem with the chainsaw. I need to do a better job packing my gear into the sled. And I got a little practice to help me learn how not to get the snow machine stuck and how to get it out when I do. But I think it's time to pack up. It's a little cold. Looks like it's about a -11 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got to make sure the tent is warm when I take it down. If there's any frost or snow in the joints of the poles, when they're cold, they'll freeze together and you can't get the poles apart. So it's best to get the tent nice and hot and then take it down quickly. See this big puddle of water? That's where the stove was. If I had let the tent cool, this entire puddle would have froze with the tent stuck inside it. I wouldn't have been able to get the tent off the ice. Everything's just a little bit harder in the cold, and you got to think ahead and plan for these things. It's just a lot. Got the freight sled loaded up, just warming myself up before I hit the trail. Hasn't been an easy trip. Didn't quite turn out the way I wanted, but it was a good one. Well, that was a wild ride, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more adventures from the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, make sure to click subscribe. All right, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
If you like this video, don't forget to check out the Outdoor
Luke here at the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and I've been stranded here in the Alaskan bush for the last 3 days, and I am a long way from civilization. I'm not quite sure how things are going to work out, but it's up to me to get myself home. And one thing's for sure, it's going to be an interesting video.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go.
You're gonna need to pull out those. Yeah, perfect.
flag is down.
Flag is down.
All right. There goes my ride.
Don't look before you leave.
Well, guys, that right there was the Hurricane train. It's a whistle-stop train run by the Alaska Railroad, and it's just dropped me off in the middle of nowhere here in the interior of Alaska. And that's what they do. You simply tell them which mile marker you want to get off at, and they stop and let you off. And if you need to get picked up, you just wander out on the tracks and you flag them down like flagging down a taxi. This train only runs twice a week, but I'm not planning on flagging it down. I've got something else in mind. But first, I need to get my snowshoes on. Let's see how she pulls. It's the dead of winter here in Alaska, and I am truly in the middle of nowhere. This railroad is my only connection to civilization. But here in a few minutes, I'm gonna leave this railroad and I'm gonna start hiking that way. I've got no trail and at least one set of mountains to go over, but I'm gonna try to hike my way back to civilization. And for the next couple nights, I'm gonna be making my own shelter. All right, this is where it gets tricky. I've got to find myself a path through these woods. And I've got to climb about 600 feet in elevation. Once I do that, it should open up, but the snow is going to be really soft and deep in there. Right now there's about 4.5 feet of snow on the ground, and my snowshoes are just barely keeping me afloat on the top of it. There's a layer of crusty snow on the top. If I put too much force down, or if I try to go up a hill, I bust through that crust, and then I'm in snow up to my knees and thighs. That's why I can't be wearing a backpack. That extra weight will cause me to break through the top crust of snow,